First team hockey captain, swims like a mermaid, and is super resilient. Please welcome Amber Schnoor.
Hello, Amber. Hello.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
Good to have you here. Amber Schnoor. You came in grade 4?
Grade 3.
Grade 3.
Halfway through.
Okay. Let's talk about the word resilient. Just dive right in there. Resilient. Would you say you are resilient? I called you resilient because I think you are. Would you say that?
I think so. I think it's just something that I've just naturally always had in me. I just think in everything I do, I'm just very resilient. So, yeah.
In your years, grade 3 specifically now, Elkanah, grade 3 all the way to now, when did you feel you had to actually be the most head down, get forward, like resilient?
I think the beginning of last year, so beginning of grade 11, personal life took quite a toll and had a lot that was thrown at me at like a very sudden time. And then times were like really tough and difficult, and literally coming to school was my safe place. I threw myself into absolutely everything here and did High School Musical, did every single sport that I could to just try and like fill up my day so I could go home as late as possible, and just really enjoyed being at school, and I just kept my head down. But then my dad came down and he got stuck here because he obviously lives in Singapore. So he got stuck here from March until August. That's the longest time I've ever seen my dad.
Sure.
So it was like really special. Yeah, then he left in August with my brother and they moved to Malaysia. And then I decided to stay because I was so close to my end of my high school journey that I wanted to finish at Elkanah. I also just became prefect. Towards the end of last year, things got very bad. And I think that was the time that I had to be the most resilient and had to persevere the hardest. A lot of people had my back and I knew it. And those are the kind of people that kept me going. And then started this year as well. And I think just the whole duration of this year, I've just had to push through. But it's been good because it's taught me a lot.
I was going to ask you what has made you continue to be, like, just keep going. And you mentioned people have had your back. People specific to school or elsewhere or everywhere, or specific teachers or friends, or
I think it's been a mixture of people. Obviously, my dad and my brother not being here, and my dad and I are like inseparable, so that's obviously quite difficult. But the fact that I say this to everyone, but he lives overseas, but it literally feels like he's sitting in front of me because he's just so invested and so involved. So he's always had my back. But I think, especially the people at Elkanah, the teachers in specific, I can definitely like safely say that they literally are my home away from home and like my second family.
Who comes to mind? Probably more than one, but who comes to mind?
I think there's been quite a few. Obviously my tutor teacher, Miss Richard Edwards, she's obviously been with me since grade 8.
Sure.
And she's basically my school mom, always been there for me. And then I'd also have to say Miss Johnson.
So like on a human level, it's not, you feel it's transcended the whole like, you're a student and I'm a teacher. It's like, I'm a human and you're a human and I care.
Yeah, like that whole teacher-student thing is like thrown out the window, and it's just,
That's special. Oh, that's so special. You mentioned when you were speaking about things getting really rough and you just threw yourself into like all the stuff that was here, all the sports, even sports that weren't your main sports.
So luckily, water polo had just started.
Oh, cool.
And obviously me loving swimming, I had to do water polo. And my dad played when he was younger, so I was like, oh, this will be really cool. So water polo was something interesting as well, and then we would have like practices in the morning, like very early, and then also like in the afternoons, and we'd have matches. So I did water polo, swimming and hockey all in the same week. I would literally go from like water polo training to a hockey match. So yeah, it was quite hectic and busy, but I mean, I don't regret it at all.
Okay. Enjoying living by yourself?
There are some parts of it that suck, but there are other parts that I really do enjoy because it is at least a peaceful environment, and it's something that I haven't had in a long time. And I can just go home and do my thing, and I don't have to worry about anything else. And when I study, I don't have to worry about anyone like bothering me or anything like that. So in that aspect, it's really nice. But at the same time, after you've had like a long day at school or something like that, sometimes you do want to come home to someone who's already made you dinner and things like that. So in that sense, it isn't so nice. But I think also having the responsibility that I do, it has taught me a lot as well.
Responsibility of living alone and just, you have to be responsible. So you're
just
learning to be
becoming like essentially an adult when I don't have to be it,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And prefect of?
Head of house for Emerald.
Oh, Emerald.
Yeah, we might win the shield this year. I don't know.
Oh,
But yeah.
cool. Okay. How has that been? How's that been?
Yeah, it's been a
Prefectship.
very fun experience.
Cool.
At first, wasn't the portfolio I wanted.
Okay.
But I'm very grateful and glad that I took it because I think it is one of the most rewarding portfolios. I definitely have grown a lot as a person being head of house, and working with my prefect body has also been really fun because we are so diverse, and it's just so nice to see like all the different people's thoughts and views coming into it. And Miss 𝐿𝐶𝐓 being our head of leadership, she's like wonderful.
Do you have next year plans? Plans for next year?
So in the moment, my plans are kind of up in the air.
Okay.
I just trying to think still whether I want to stay here or go overseas. So I'm just like...
Cool. Favorite subjects?
So
Sport. Jokes.
Sport,
Okay.
definitely, but favorite subjects, I think I'm quite happy with all the subjects I chose. So I take bio, geography and design, and it's quite different, but I do enjoy all of them. But then I also made the switch to maths lit in grade 10,
Okay.
which was the best decision of my
Okay.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always, every day in that class, there's something new.
Cool.
And Mr. Shaw, he's really good laugh.
Good.
So yeah, it's a nice way to keep us all entertained.
Yeah. Amber, it was so lovely to speak to you.
So nice.
I'm so glad you are doing well
Yeah.
and that it's been good for you and that it has been a home away from home. Yeah, I'm so glad for you, sincerely.
Thank you.
You are resilient, gosh. Head down, forward, forward, forward. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Cool.